Well, hello friends, Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. A lot of you guys out there have been buying my racks and stuff, and I wanted to show you a couple things about them. Here we have, this is actually my oversized hat rack, two-face. We got our cowboy silver and of course our blue. Now here's the great thing about it. They come with these hooks, okay? They'll be in a bag. They got the screws and stuff on there. And what it is they have this little point in here that bites into the drywall. So you pop those on there just like that. Now check this out. It's real easy to hang. You find the spot that you want to put it on, right? And then you just pull it down slightly. That's it. And see, this I love because I have a bunch of hats that are autographed. And I've got these bigger racks that are up here that I put them on, but this one actually holds them so you can really display them. So you pop it right in there in the slot. Brandon Carr. Oh, I got another Brandon Carr one. I got two Brandon Carr autographed ones. Okay. Charles Haley and Deion Sanders. DeMarcus Ware. And Miles Austin. And this one's a no-name one, but it can go in here too. So I've got 6 hats. 6 hats that can stay on here. Now, I tell you what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I actually make these. It'll be a 2-part series. So we'll first go through and we'll show you how we make the backing and stuff on there. Hopefully you like it. If you do, and if you want one, I have on my website, cowboyjobu.com. So we've got all different kinds of shapes and we're coming up with some new ones, but check this out. I'm gonna go to work. I'm gonna go to work right now. Hey, good morning friends. Mark Holmes here in my workshop. I know my workshop is kind of cluttered. It's not real big. It's really a 2-car garage that I've made into my workshop, and I've got a bunch of different things going on. I've got a countertop over here that it's made out of mahogany that I've actually got to miter and make and work on that today. I've got a cabinet over here that I've got to go ahead and get done for a vanity. And of course, I've got racks for you guys. And I just want to give you guys an idea of how I get to this. These are our racks. We have shot glass ones. We got ones that hold hats and beer mugs and of course, mini hat racks and pop figures and stuff. So, but it's all basically the same principle. So the first thing I do is I go to the store and I get some wood. Okay, and so all this is made out of wood, made out of pine, as a matter of fact. So I go through and I get up these laminated boards like this, and I have my templates right here of the footballs, and I'll go through and I will draw as many footballs as I can on this. If I'm going to do full size, these oversized footballs, I can get 3 of those out of one. Or if I do the large size, I can get 4 of them out of there. Or if I use the small ones, I could probably get about 10. So what I try and do is I try and maximize the amount of wood that I can get out of it. So with this piece of wood that's 8 feet long, I'll end up getting 2 large footballs, extra large, a large and a medium out of it, which is pretty good. So if I get 4 footballs out of a board, that's good. So the next thing I'll do is I'll take the circular saw and I'll rough cut these, and then I'll cut them on the bandsaw. So that's it. Next thing I got to do is cut it on the bandsaw. But while I'm here, I'm going to cut out all of the blanks. This is one that's already been cut on the bandsaw. All right, so to the next step, we're gonna go cut it on the bandsaw over here. And this is a 2-horsepower bandsaw. It's a Delta heavy duty one, and the blade is actually right here, but it's a big loop that goes on through. It's a little bit noisy, so bear with us here, okay, while we start cutting it. And what I'm going to do is just basically rough cut it. Okay, so that's our rough cutout football right there. So the next thing I'm going to do is, you can see where, I've got my cut points and stuff. We're going to take this actually on, I have an oversized belt sander. It's actually a 96-inch horizontal belt. So I can go through and I can sand this all to get me the nice curved shape of the football. So that's what you got right there from that solid piece. Solid wood. Love it. Okay, so now, look at that. So we've got our nice curves up on here. So it's nice and smooth there. The last thing we have to do to the blanks, well actually there's two things we still have to do to the blanks, is we're going to take the router table and we're going to take a 1/4 inch quarter round over it, and then we're going to sand it with a 150 and then a 220 grit, and then these are ready to be painted. And you can see over here behind me, I've got some that are in different stages of being painted. What we do is, we'll go ahead and put a primer coat of paint first. So we'll paint them all white, and then we'll start putting the 3 coats of each of the colors on here, and we'll overpaint it. If it's a two-faced one, of course, we're going to go ahead and just overpaint over half of it, and we'll use the lighter colors first. Because we're doing silver and blue, you put the gray on because the blue hides much, much better. And then as you can see, these only have 1 coat of the grays on here, and this over here, we've gone through and we've taped down the middle of it to give us our straight line. And we've already got 2 coats of blue over here, 3 coats of the silver. And that's your football. So let's go on over to the router table and get that cut. Now, one thing you'll notice, I'm a little dusty, but not as dusty as you would think I would be with as much stuff as we have going on here. What I actually have is I got a 3 horsepower Cyclone dust collector, and basically, when you look around, you'll see pipes. It starts off as an 8-inch pipe, and then it, branches off into smaller size pipes. Eventually, to each of the machines, that's like a 4-inch. So I have over here, you can see, this is the trunk line, which is 6-inch pipe that's down through here, and then I have 2 hoses that are hooked up to the sander, so that way it basically directs the dust and sucks up most of that. If you didn't have that, it would be cloudy in here, and actually you can build up enough sawdust that literally it's like it can explode. So that's one of the reasons why we have it that end. Of course, my wife doesn't like to have a lot of sawdust in the house and doesn't like me to be a dusty old man, but I'm a dusty old man. Let's go over here to the router tube. All right, so one other step that I do have for my racks is I like to put my logo on there. Thanks to my man Brian SoCal, he actually did the design. So it's a star, but it says Jobu. And so we actually burn this into it. So I've got a heating iron right here where I've got the logo on here, and this sucker is really hot. And so here's what we do. Let me show you right here. Put it on here for a couple of seconds. And bam, there it is. Just like that. And then we'll sand that just a little bit. That'll get the extra burn area off. So when I heat this iron up, it takes a while to do it. So I do a lot at one time. So we're going to go through and get these done. All right, and so that's how we make our blanks, like this. Look at that. So you've got a nice little rounded over edge that's on there. It's still a little bit coarse, but we'll go through and sand it with a 150 and then a 220, and then they're ready to paint. It's not too bad looking, is it? You could end up doing this out of medium density fiberboard, which would probably save some money doing it that way. It's basically like a sawdust that they use a resin to make into sheets, and it's a great product for recycled goods. It's stable, it doesn't expand and contract. I just like wood. For me, I'm kind of old school. I don't believe in all that kind of stuff. I want to have solid wood, and that's why I go ahead and do it out of this. I know some of you guys out there are looking for me to figure out how to do a star. I'm working on that, but the problem with doing a star is because it goes out to a point, you have to understand the grain. The strength of the wood is to the grain, and if you come off with the star, you're going to be going across the grain, so it may not be that strong. So what I may have to do is, it might be that I end up making a football and then putting a star that's cut out on there. And also to cutting the star, it's a little more exact and it's harder to sand the edges and stuff, but we'll work on figuring that out. That's where actually getting a CAD machine would be great, because basically I can input it all in there and it'll cut it out exactly consistent. But we'll figure that stuff out, or maybe something we'll be able to do in the future. So thank you for watching part 1 of making these football shelves. The next go around, I'll show you how we do some of our laces. And see, this is the laces that I actually made for our hat racks, which looks kind of complex, but it's not as bad as you think. And maybe I shouldn't show you guys because somebody might steal my idea. But this is designed so that way you put the back of the hat in like this, it holds the brim forward. So it's like it's sitting on your head, and you can put multiple hats on here, and still be able to see the face of it. So if you have different Cowboy stars or other teams, you'll be able to see all the faces of them, and of course them on a rack. Makes it kind of perfect. Not so much for a baseball, but for a football, it's perfect. Thank you guys as always for watching, and look for part 2 where we show you how to make the lace. See you later.